Congratulations on this project. What a wild ride.
Yeah.
Wild is like the I feel like the most tame adjective I could use here.
Stop that, we're in public.
Through their seat.
Oh my God, yeah, there is no way, honey.
But let's start with the gore, because y'all, the transformations, it was just incredible. How would you describe all of that in its glory and the secrets behind it to get these transformations and these effects?
I mean, he's the first. You're the first. You're numero uno.
Yeah, I mean,
You set the palette.
I set the tone. We set the tone with a lot of slime, KY jelly. I mean, there was so much substance and stickiness on me to really get to what it might be like to have this rebirth coming out of a sack. And stepping into this new physical appearance. So it is very wild. It is very sweaty and sexy and explosive. That's the only way to describe these transformations.
You say sexy and explosive.
And KY jelly.
And KY jelly. I mean, you do the math.
This is now ET After Dark.
ET After Dark.
Oh, no. And
Come
probably
on.
my last day on the job. Speaking of being on the job, Ashton, this is the first project bringing you back after a little bit of a break. What made you, in all of your flag football coaching era glory, want to take on the eccentric villain here?
I'll say I honestly wasn't looking to do anything. I was like, look, I'm busy. I've got an investment firm I'm running. I got my kids. I got and I was like, not really looking to do anything. And then I got a call that Ryan Murphy wanted to meet and have a conversation. And I was like, oh, it's Ryan Murphy. Like I so admire his work and like his prolific, like repertoire of entertainment is extraordinary. And I think he's like an unbelievable writer, storyteller, everything else. I was like, all right, I'll sit down and have a conversation. So he starts talking to me. Of course, he sells me. But what he said was, he was like, look, he's like, I have this comic book, and I wrote this character for you. He's like, and here's what it's about. And he starts talking to me about like GLP-1s, and like Ozempic and Mounjaro and Wegovy and all these things. And people that are like afraid to get a COVID shot, but perfectly happy to shoot themselves with a GLP-1 for an outcome, right? And like going after it, and I'm watching this market play out, and I go, wow, this is really interesting. And he goes, well, what if you took it one step further? And you go, no, it's not just about like losing weight or whatever people are utilizing these drugs for. It's about being the most beautiful version of yourself, whatever you think that is. And how far would people be willing to go to get that? And so when we started having the conversation about this, it got really, really deep and really interesting really fast, because we started talking about what's happening with AI and everything else. And you go, well, look, if we went from like an economy that was built on like brute force and work, and then we went to the knowledge economy, and now we're commoditizing intelligence with AI, what's the next most valued asset of humanity? Is it kindness? Is it empathy? Is it beauty? And if it is, how far will people be willing to go in order to get it? And that's what this show is about. And while it's wild and like out there, it was our job. He was like, I know it's while it's out there. He's like, you guys are gonna ground it and make it visceral and human and real. And that seemed like an exciting challenge.
Being beautiful, let's be honest. What could be more important? For the first time ever, there's been a truly beautiful medical breakthrough. One that will transform financial markets and the face and bodies of humanity forever.
I don't know how y'all got any work done, though. You three together, come on. You get these two guys in the mix, too, with you. I mean, this is quite the trio. How much fun did you guys have when the cameras stopped rolling?
A lot. I mean, you know, thankfully, we have a good group. Like, everybody's cool, and you know, we had a good time in Italy. You know, we were able to actually spend time with each other. which was not a thing that we got to do often in New York. You know, and it felt like summer camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we was, you know, hanging out in the hotel lobby bar, and you know, just getting to just hang, getting to know each other, and really spending hours together, and then going to work the next day. And you know, it was a lot of fun, man. And it's just a good group, man. I'm really excited. You know, I've known Jeremy for a long time. We've known each other for 15 years or something like that. And Ashton, we've known each other for
15 minutes.
Right? And we're getting there. And it's you know, it's been,
Now I feel like you're stuck together now,
it's been
y'all.
great. I mean, it's amazing.
You guys are
it's dope.
stuck together like the glue in this show.
One simple injection to become a beauty.
Are there side effects?
This genre, of course, has been explored in the past, but I feel like most recently, The Substance, and there's early comparisons to that film already. Do you see those comparisons?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely understand it, you know, given that that was something that was, you know, wildly successful and kind of at the top of everyone's brains. I think, you know, what's interesting about this project is Ryan has kind of been sitting on these comics for a while. I think this was like so many years ago that he bought this project, and just trying to figure out the right time and what the tone wanted to be. And, you know, if anyone's familiar with Ryan's work, we have Nip Tuck, we have American Horror Story, so he is definitely a person when it comes to genre, is very interested in bending that and the idea and the two truths at the same time. So I think his big inspirations were, you know, Death Becomes Her.
You took the potion.
How do you know about that? You took the potion too? Well, I hardly needed it. So that's why you look the way you do. And you are dead.
He was just inspired by this idea, you know, we've been talking just about beauty and like where it is right now and this cultural currency to beauty and access to beauty and what people are willing to do to go for it. So while we love that it, you know, is evoking people to feel something, I'm always moved by a piece of art that asks the audience a question to themselves, like what are you willing to sacrifice or give to feel your body in its perfect self? Or to see your kid in its perfect itself. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how the audience receives it in full, you know. But again, we had the best time exploring and playing and bringing this comic to life with Ryan.
I think we're also like, I mean, one, Demi's performance in The Substance, like obviously she got extraordinary accolades. I'm so proud of her. She like killed it. I think like we're all, the bigger context though is like we're in a society where there's cosmetic enhancement is becoming like increasingly like predominant and accepted. Like it's a weird thing. Like if like over the last like 2 decades, you just kind of watch the rise of that taking place. And it used to be like, you know, braces were the only, you know, like on your teeth were the only acceptable cosmetic enhancement. Otherwise, you'd be judged for it. And then gradually, there's like a social acceptance of like, hey, no, that makes that person feel happy, and that's what matters more than any aesthetic outcome. And so there's a gradual sort of adjustment of societal norms around that. And in fact, there's like, you know, cosmetic tourism that's taking place. There's a company called Essos where you can book a trip to Turkey to get rhinoplasty or transplants or whatever it is, and by vetted professionals. And you go, wait, if that's starting to take place, this notion of what beauty is it like homogenizing? Is it different? And I think like Ryan really wanted to explore that beauty is very different for each one of these characters. Like when they go through the transformation, it could be an entirely abnormal thing for someone else, but for that person, that is the outcome. Is the outcome. And sometimes these things come with unintended consequences. And I think that that's the other piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head too. Just talking about the timing right now. We're in an era of social media and all filters and all that. I love me a good face app filter, but like there's like a deeper, there's a problem with that. But I was thinking too, watching this show, of just like in my early 20s, you know, filling my face with filler, looking like a balloon, things that I will never do again. But did it make you think of like times in your life that may make you feel like a little sad now of like, wow, I was trying to achieve this idea of perfection that I didn't need to, and what did that look like for you?
I do feel like there was a time where it just goes to show that what is beautiful to people changes all the time too, right? Like for instance, people used to make fun of me about my freckles all the time. They used to make fun of me all the time about my freckles, and now I'm seeing, like you said, filters with people putting freckles on their face, and people like drawing freckles on their, or like getting surgery to have freckles permanently placed on their face, and I'm like, yo, this is like a thing that kids would make fun of me about. You know, when I was a kid, and you know, so I, you know, I feel bad that kid had to, you know, kind of. I'm alright though. I'm good.
Oh, I heard your interview when you said you look in the mirror and you feel beautiful.
Every day, baby.
Why do you think I'm on camera?
Every day.
But you're a little narcissist right here.
That's crazy.
What about you
That's
guys?
unbelievable.
No, I think we talk about what is perfectionism and this kind of bar striving for this thing that is always changing, and beauty, we say, is in the eye of the beholder. So to me, yes, you can do so many things externally, but what's really going on the inside? And I think attending to that will always then be reflected on the outside. That's kind of my journey, especially with being, you know, in front of a camera, or being kind of hypersensitive to people and their comments, if you will. But it's the work on the inside, you know. And no shade to the filters, no shade to people that want to feel better by getting the braces or the rhino or the hair transplant. Like, do you, boo? Do what you got to do. But I think make sure that you're also attending to that soul and that heart, you know, and make sure that's Gucci as well.
I also think, like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. I started modeling when I was like 19, and like I was hanging out with what I consider to be some of the most beautiful people in the world. And what I realized really quickly is, like, everybody had an insecurity. Everybody. You look in the mirror long enough, you'll find something you don't like, or that you think could be better, or you think could be different. And I remember I got an exclusive campaign for Gucci when Tom Ford was running it. And I showed up, I flew to Italy for the runway show, and he puts me in like a pink Speedo. And I was like 178 pounds. I know exactly how much I weighed. 178 pounds. He was like, he's too fat. And I got fired. But Tom had a specific thing he wanted to see. And I laugh with him about it now. And he's like, you were too fat. And I was like, dude, I was 178 pounds. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, but he had a specific thing that he wanted, that he wanted to see, that in his eye was like the right thing. It didn't mean I was less, but it just meant that I wasn't that for him and for that moment. And if you can build insecurities about those things over time, and I think everybody has those. Like, it really does not matter who you are. Everybody's got an insecurity.
It's an STD that people will actually want.